Hello and welcome to another mini portable video. On this channel, I do a lot of professional wrestling content. I'm still trying to figure things out, so thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for bearing with me. Today, I will be doing a Q&A. I am here in my comfy Barbie blankie right now. Let's start this. The first one is from Shy Guy Works. He says, what do you love most about what you do and what got you started? I love answering this question, specifically the what do you love most about what you do. I've been asked this several times. The people that I get to meet doing this. Growing up, just like most of us who started doing wrestling content creation, I think what fueled us was because we didn't have anybody that we can talk about wrestling. And wrestling was like this sort of like really nerdy thing, like an unspoken thing. Like if you were a wrestling fan, you just kept that to yourself. You were very closeted about being a fan, and I know that's how I grew up. I just started doing TikTok, and then as soon as I started doing TikTok, I had a video blow up, and after that video blow up, I just started grinding, and I haven't stopped grinding. I've been grinding for about a year and a half now. The next one is from D Porteous, and he says, are there any wrestling moves you think look silly or not at all believable? The only wrestling moves that I don't like, just because of the past with professional wrestlers, are headbutts. I don't like headbutts. Anything relating towards brain damage, I don't like. Brain damage myself. I've had 3 concussions because I'm into extreme sports, and I've actually had 4 concussions. I think my CTE is hitting me already. I've had 4 concussions, 2 from car accidents, and then the other 2 were from sports. 1 from soccer, one from snowboarding. So anything involving headbutts, I'm not interested in seeing. The next one is from Munsa, and he says, who would you like to see win a WWE championship in the next 3 years starting from today? So I've always been a huge advocate for a women's mid-card title, and I've always been a huger advocate for Shayna Baszler. So I would definitely want a mid-card title for the women's division. Give it a Shayna, and then eventually she can drop it off to Chelsea Green, or she can drop it off to, honestly, Piper Niven has been like creeping up that ladder of just being that bitch. So anything involving Shayna getting the push or a title opportunity, I've always been for. Next up, we have Dijak's bitch. We have Mr. Santi Zap himself asking me, have you supported your local indie? Yes, I've supported Knox Pro. Knox Pro is my local indie, and they are actually the most welcoming promotion. All of their wrestlers are super freaking cool. They're some of my favorite indie wrestlers right now that I like to promote and utilize my platform to try to promote as much as I can. Knox Pro is the academy of Black Pro and Rikishi. So when I went to their academy, I saw all of these cool WWE memorabilia with the Samoan Dynasty. Besides Knox Pro, I do support PCW Ultra, which we got their poster right there. That's the show that I went to for my birthday, and Jacob Fatu was signed to the WWE, so he didn't make it after all, but it is okay. We are happy for him. Next up, we have Jari, and Jari says, a wrestler you look up to the most. The person that I looked up to growing up was Kurt Angle himself. I really enjoyed how he was extremely talented in the ring and on the mic and with character work and stuff like that, but mostly because he won the gold medal with a broken freaking neck, and yet you have this man on WWE television making a fool out of himself, not taking himself seriously, and that's who I looked up to growing up. I don't think I'm better than anyone to not make a fool out of myself. I'm 100% okay. If it's for the purposes of creating a good show or for the purposes of entertaining a damn audience, I will be okay. I have my limits. I'm not gonna bark like a freaking dog. It's no disrespect to Trish Stratus, but yes. And hopefully he can officiate my wedding at some point. Next up, we have a question from Zaki Riley with the question of, have you ever wrestled in a wrestling ring? I took a bump. I got power bombed, which is funny because the reason why we're here is because of a video of me saying that when I'm getting down and dirty, I tell them to powerbomb me, and that's why we're here, folks. That video went viral, and yeah, I capitalized off of it. I've taken bumps outside of the ring, obviously, because who doesn't when you're a WWE fan? I used to wrestle with my brothers, and they would beat the crap out of me. To answer your question, yes, I've been powerbombed in the ring and it fucking hurts. And I remember being asked, do you still want to do this? And I said yes. I get so mad at myself too because I always think of what could have been. But we are here, we are doing wrestling content creation, and so far it's been going pretty good. The next one we have is from Marissa. Shout out to Marissa DeLuco. She says, if you could go back in time and go to any wrestling event in history to experience it, which one would it be? I'm going to have to go with WrestleMania 31 just because Seth Rollins had... I've been a Seth Rollins girl for so freaking long, back when he was Tyler Black. Like, he was my guy, and that WrestleMania 31 was in Ontario, California. So technically I could have gone. No one was going to go with me, and I didn't want to go by myself. I don't remember how old I was. WrestleMania 31 was 9 years ago, so I was 23. Do math faster. Former engineer here that can't fucking do math. I was 23 at the time, and I think I did ask the guy that I was dating to go with me, and they were like, how do I spend money on that? In a better place now, guys. But yes, it would have to be WrestleMania 31 to see Seth Rollins cashing in, because at that time I was also the biggest Roman Reigns hater. I was such a huge hater that when Seth Rollins music hit, I marked the crap out, and that would have been a very, very precious moment for me to witness live, seeing him cash in, win the damn title, and seeing all the faces of all you Roman Reigns fans back then. No disrespect to the man now, I think he's one of the greatest, but damn, I hated that man. Next one, we got Edwin saying, what show is better, Mania 40 or All In 2023? I'm going to have to go with WrestleMania 40. If you could put WrestleMania Night 139 and WrestleMania Night 240, that would be the perfect WrestleMania. And the main event, like, I can never discredit that main event. Every wrestling fan felt the nostalgia. Every wrestling fan knew this is overbooked madness, and we love it. Also, insane all of that. All In Wembley was a spectacular fucking show. It was a good damn show. I mean, MJF is my favorite wrestler, so we got to see MJF open up the show when he was on 0 Hour, and then we saw him close out All In Wembley, and that was a spectacular show. Talk about beautiful storytelling. We also had Will Ospreay versus Chris Jericho, which was we had so many good matches throughout that entire pay-per-view, and I don't want to discredit All In Wembley, but I'm going to have to give it to Mania 40, and it's specifically because of Night 2. Next up, we have YNRD_248. This is my boyfriend, guys. He's also a content creator. You guys know him. He's been doing this before. Like, he's been doing content creation longer than I have. And he wants to know, why the fuck do you want to move to Ohio? Because you're there. Because of you. You're the reason why I want to move to Ohio, okay? There you go. Easy freaking question. Next up, we got from Jazz Marie. I just found out about her on Twitter recently, and I'm obsessed. I know why a lot of you guys are obsessed too. She's beautiful. Beautiful woman. She says, would you ever do a collaboration with that one girl, Jazz Marie, on Twitter? Yes. I think you have a podcast. I think I've seen clips. Invite me. Invite me. Let's fucking collab. I'm open to collabing with any of the girlies out there, or as Weezy says, girly pops. Invite me. Yes. Next up, we have from Cardi. Shout out to Cardi. He's my mod on Twitch. How does it feel to know that you are one of the worst gamers on Twitch? And before you say anything, we got proof.
I am smashing right now. A big fat piece of meat.
I be my section, royalty looking sexy, you know that be my girl.
I can't hear you. There's too much money in my fucking head.
I did a wonderful job. I don't know what you're talking about. Next up, we got Ross. A shout out to Ross. He says, would you ever at some point move in with YNRD_2? I'm planning to by the end of the year. Hopefully everything works out. So yes. Next up, we have Lewis. Lewis is a menace. I don't even know what he's about to say. So the next question is, so when Nate goes bald, are you gonna Michael Jordan him? Yes, absolutely. If you don't get the reference, it's because Nate made several videos saying that he was gonna Michael Jordan Ricochet's bald ass, and when we were at SummerSlam, Ricochet passed by and he said hi to us, and Nate didn't do a damn shit. So yes, I am moving in with a little bitch. The next question we have is Farhath. saying, do you think Randy Orton is top 10 of all time? Absolutely. I think not only, of course, he was bred for the business, everything he does is so eloquent. I don't think it takes that much time for Randy Orton to enhance a certain gimmick or elevate a certain moveset or whatever is happening. You can read it on his face. I think Randy Orton's facial expressions alone puts him in top 10. Randy Orton is just so good. He's so good. I feel like he just picks things up quickly. It doesn't take him as long as others, which that doesn't, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I think it's a good thing that wrestlers keep trying to understand certain things or get things right. I do think that Randy Orton is one of the most perfect wrestlers that we've seen in the industry. Next up, we have a question from Jeremy saying, was Cody finishing the story and all that happening before Cena, Rock, and Taker? And after, Samantha's announcing with tears in her eyes, the superstars coming out to celebrate the most emotional moment in wrestling history. At the moment, because I don't have the best memory, at the moment, I want to say in my existence, yes, because the last time I felt some sort of like emotional roller coaster was between Better Than You Baby segment. We like Adam Cole and MJF were besties, but then were they going to turn on each other? And then they didn't. They prolonged the turn, which I appreciated. I want to say it was the most emotional for me in my existence. The next question is from Shay's Hound saying, which wrestler would you bring back to WWE and name one wrestler from one of these companies you would bring to WWE? New Japan, AEW, TNA, Indies. So which wrestler would I bring back to WWE? There's a couple, but I would say there's like three, because there's Miro, there's Keith Lee, and there's Malachi Black. I think Malachi Black is good right now, what they're doing. Like, he's involved in stories, he's always seen on TV. I would bring back Miro. AEW, who I would bring to the WWE, which we might actually see here soon, is Ricky Starks, because he's not being shown on television. I know for a fact this would be Tony Khan's greatest fumble. Jade was a fumble, but Ricky Starks, it's unfortunate, but I would move Ricky Starks from AEW to WWE. From New Japan, it's going to be extremely biased. It's going to be Gabe Kidd. I think Gabe Kidd is heavily underrated. I think more people need to be talking about him. I like what he does with his character. It's believable. I like what he does on the mic because he's just there to talk shit. And then his in-ring skills are there too. So I would bring him. From TNA, I would say Josh Alexander, because I feel like that's the appropriate answer here, to bring in Josh Alexander to the WWE. His style of wrestling can really just go with anyone. Like, he can have a 5-star classic with anyone. He's like Will Ospreay. Like, he just creates magic. So I'm gonna go with Josh. And in the Indies, I would say just bring back Matt Cardona. I mean, I think it's appropriate to bring him back now. He's created noise. He's done a lot in professional wrestling outside of the WWE, that at this point, just bring him back. Next up, we got Mad Dog Photo saying, is a Santi ratio the most underrated thing to occur on Twitter and X? I don't think it's the most underrated thing. I think it's pretty cool to see a content creator sort of have this like online feud with a WWE superstar. I think it's really amazing, and we all know freaking Santi, he's the Gandalf of professional wrestling creators, so I think it's cool. I don't think it's underrated. I think it's appropriately rated. We needed this, and we did not know that we needed this. What we have is Emiliano saying, how did you get into wrestling? Any favorite memories related to it? I got into wrestling because I passed by the TV and I saw Eddie Guerrero. I saw Lita and I was like, this is cool. What is this? And I fell in love with it instantly. Next up, we got Big Boy Fresh saying, what are your goals for this year in streaming? I want to become Twitch partner. I want to be Twitch partner. That's been a goal of mine for so long, and I definitely want to complete that goal this year. I'm also going to TwitchCon this year. The last time I went was fun, but I was limited on what I could do because I wasn't Twitch partner, so I didn't get to go to the Twitch partner party. I would like to go this year. So yes, Twitch partner is like the streaming goal right now. This question is from Derek, and it says, if you could be friends with any WWE superstar, who would it be and why? I would choose Ariana Grace because I like how she's in tune with her character, and I appreciate that as someone who can also be given a character and can improvise on the spot. I love that. Like, I love that for her. So I would be friends with Ariana Grace. So next up, we have From Hydrix, favorite Seth Rollins moment, him cashing in. Him turning on Roman Reigns, and no one really is going to remember this, but when he called Sting a relic, I lost my mind, and that's another favorite moment of mine. The next one is from Landon saying, who's freakier, Tama Tonga or Nate? I'm not even capping when I say it's Nate. The next question is from Man Dude Butterfield saying, why do you keep yelling at us in chat, and can you reimburse me for my dollars since you yelled at us? Because chat are a bunch of menaces, and of course you have to go off based off the streamer, and I know I'm a menace, so I know you guys get me riled up all the damn time just to piss me off, but that's why I yell at you guys, and no, I will not refund you your dollar. The next question is from King Pop Rich saying, if you could bring back any wrestler alive, who would it be and why? Eddie Guerrero. Eddie to me was one of the reasons why I started watching wrestling, so 100% be Eddie Guerrero. And that was it. And if you do want to ask me any other questions, or if I did not get a chance to answer your questions that you did ask me, I do go live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for Raw, Dynamite, and SmackDown. Okie dokie. Until next time.